everyone, welcome back. I am getting ready to go out. It's like 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. I've been indoors all day and I'm so cooped up, desperate to get out of the house. I've got an event due to go to this evening with Vince. I'm wearing their top, and something called COS Books, which is like a reading community based out of Copenhagen, but they're doing an event here, which I'm very excited about. So I'm going to go to that, and before that I'm going to go and mooch around some bookshops I've been wanting to go to in London, which are kind of like near King's Cross. And yeah, just desperately need to get out. So we are going to get ready. I'm very, very pleased to say this video is sponsored by Merit, who need no introduction over here, I hope. Probably my all-time most worn makeup brand. I love what they do so much. And this is specifically to promote their new mascara, which is brilliant. I've been using it for weeks now. I've been using the brown specifically, but it is available in black as well. But the brown is such a good shade of brown. It's really dark, but not as like heavy as wearing black mascara feels. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about that. I'm gonna put it on now and get ready now. But as you know, I love Merit. I love their products. So I am actually just remembering that I took something I needed in a handbag. I had this in my handbag because I took it with me for the summer fair in case I needed to reapply, and I didn't need to reapply. This is the Minimalist from Merit, which I love. Pop a tiny bit on and then just use a brush. You can use kind of any brush, or you could use your fingers to blend that in. A bit more down my nose. Yeah, one thing I find so hard about working for myself at home isn't actually motivating myself. I find that bit quite easy, thankfully, but it is getting so cooped up when I've got a lot on, and a lot of it's just stuff I need to be sat on my laptop for, that I realise I just sometimes go a whole day where I'm like, I haven't spoken to anyone, I haven't seen anyone, I haven't left this space, and suddenly feel quite insane. But also, when I've got loads to do, it doesn't feel like I've got time to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go for a walk or whatever. This is the volumizing pomade from Merit. This one, I know it's not almost run out, but I've been through several of these. This is in the shade brown black. It's a pretty foolproof product, I would say. I've got a spot on my forehead, don't I? But yeah, I sometimes find that I just get to this point in the day where I'm like, oh my gosh, I urgently need to get out of the house and do something. So thankfully I can, because I've got the bulk of what I needed to do today done. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else who works at home finds that to be the hardest thing, because it kind of goes hand in hand with also having a really productive day. Like, I have flown through work today, I've got so much done. So that feels great, but then it feels like a detriment to like, oh, I've just been sat, haven't moved, feeling just cooped up basically. I'm gonna start by curling my lashes. Right, lashes curled. Okay, now onto the mascara. So this is the new Clean Volume Mascara from Merit. This is in the brown. It doesn't have like a big fluffy brush or anything, and it really, really separates your eyelashes. So I've just curled mine and that's all I've done. I've got something in my fringe that I can see out my peripheral vision. Got it. Okay, you ready? It's so good. They really hold like this all day as well. Look at the difference. And I like the brown so much because I feel like it's changed the shape of my eye, but doesn't make me feel like I've got really heavy makeup on. I think that's a very, very, very impressive difference. It is, like all of their products, just brilliant. It is my favourite makeup brand, I think. And I so often, even when I'm not working on a video for them like this, find that I just naturally do all of my products are from Merit, because they've just got so many good ones, which leads me onto my other favourite, which is in a handbag, the Flush Balm. I've got two shades on the go here. Fox is the one I like at the moment. These are so good because you can just do lips and that. Oh, is that too much on that side? No, oh, it blends so well. And I love that you can use your fingers for this. And I always have one of these in a handbag because they're also just so easy to use on your lips, as you just saw. This one is the Merit brush that they do. It's like a really flat, dense one. which I'm just going to use to blend everything together. And I think I'm going to stop there. I don't think I'm going to put anything else on because it's quite hot today. So I'll get a natural glowy highlight going, hopefully. A bit of deodorant. And yeah, I'm going to get the train to King's Cross now and get myself out of the house ahead of this event. Okay, this is the outfit from Vince. The trousers are beautiful, especially the trousers, because you know how much I love a navy trouser and just wear them all the time. And then a navy silk top. And then I've got my brown About Ariane shoes on because I love brown and navy together. And I would, if I didn't have to sort of go out and, not have to, but wasn't going out to do bits that involve probably having a handbag, I think that this top would look, this bag would look so nice with it. But I'm going to use my St. Agni woven bag because I have to bring some bits, like a book. This is what I'm currently reading and I'm really, really enjoying it. All the trains are cancelled, so I'm just working out how to get there. Made it. It's called Judd Books. Well, that was great. 2 great second-hand bookshops. I hadn't been to either before. I unbelievably don't think I've ever walked down this street in London. There are a lot of streets in London. And now I'm just going to mooch to the event. It's like a half-an-hour walk. I might grab a snack on the way and stop in at anywhere else that takes my fancy, basically. Feels so nice to be out and about. It's such a gorgeous day. Look at this water stones. That's insane. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna go in, have a look. Okay. Good evening, guys. I'm in bed. Had met some friends at the pub on the way home and had a very nice time at the event. I met some new people as well, which was lovely. And I'm just going to do my face mask. The Merit Mascara comes off in tubes. It's so satisfying and so easy. I just use my normal face wash. You don't need like a special face wash for it, which I really like. You don't even need to use a cotton pad. You just, and it goes, and then it's not smudgy black everywhere. It just is bits. It's so good. So I've just had that experience in the bathroom, and now, yeah, I enjoy face mask and go to sleep. I've got the gym at 7 in the morning. Do you know who I could never be? Someone who gets up at 5 a.m. People that do that and then exercise at like 6. I am in awe. That is a different type of person. I think I could never. Even the thought of exercising at 7, I'm like, oh, I don't love that feeling. Even though I don't mind getting up before 7, I don't want to get up and move that much, but I am. So I'm doing that tomorrow, and then we're gonna do more book club prep and just loads of work. All of it's feeling quite boring, but I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with it all, if I'm honest. It's lots of like just admin bits, you know, so dull but so time consuming somehow. So I need to get on top of that tomorrow. But yeah, for now, good night. Good afternoon. I was going to say good morning. Good afternoon. I went to the gym. It's so hot today. It's like 30 degrees. Washing on the line. Love having washing on the line. I went to the gym, survived. I had my head on my laptop all day, and I've just been listening to a podcast about the book, which I'm going to do in the sun when I drink my second coffee. And I'm just cleaning the floor. Word to the wise, let me give you some really important advice. If you are ever renovating a kitchen, never choose a grey floor like this, or I think any light coloured flat floor. This was in the kitchen when I moved in, and is one of those things that feels like a mammoth job to change. But hang on, I'll show you. That's a bit of bleach because I'm about to clean it, but I constantly have to clean this floor every single day. This is just from yesterday. It's definitely worse in the summer because I like going in and out of the garden, and sometimes do that barefoot, or sometimes have some flip-flops on or something like that. But any cooking that you do, the tiniest bit of water, like this is just me. This, if you had this with kids, you would never ever ever stop cleaning it. I hope that's not disgusting to have shared, but it's the one thing that I would change in this house, and would never ever ever under any circumstances have again. And actually I was speaking to my mum about it, and she was saying that my cousin, she renovated her kitchen and she put a grey floor in and claims for it to be the worst decision she ever made and that she regrets it every single day. It is impossible to keep clean. So I'm just about to give the floor a quick clean for today, and then sit outside for a bit and drink this coffee that I'm just making and keep researching the book. And then I'm going to Kentish Town to go and see a venue for Buffy's, which will be our September venue, which is a really nice pub around there. Just boiling water and bleach, there's nothing that does a better job than that. So yeah, that is my plan for the day. Just seen an off licence called Drinker's Paradise, which for some reason doesn't feel like you should be able to call an off licence that. Anyway, I am on my way to see this Buffy's venue. Sorry, it's really bright. I am completely overdressed for this weather. It's like sundress weather, it's hot, and I've got on a Buffy t-shirt, my Vince trousers, Tory Beckham bag, and some Massimo Dutti shoes. But yeah, I was thinking about this earlier, of how when it's hot in London, I just don't feel comfortable going out in a dress, or even with my legs out for some reason. I feel like someone's going to walk up to me and be like, where do you think you're going? And it's something to do with it being the place that I live. Don't have it in New York in the same way, and it could be like 34 degrees here, which it has been like a relative amount this summer, and I will still find a way to wear some trousers. Whereas if I was on holiday and it's 34 degrees, I'm like out. I've got as close to being naked as I could possibly be. Dresses all the time, definitely not a trouser in sight. But what is it about being in a place where you live, for me anyway, that makes it feel so difficult to wear something without feeling like I've gotten sort of ridiculously dressed up? So I don't know if anyone else shares that. But yeah, it's hot and I am too hot in what I'm wearing, but at least I feel comfortable, so that's the main thing. It's very pretty around here. Hello everybody, it's Thursday lunchtime. I thought I'd just sit down and talk about books briefly, because I've just had my head in planning for tonight's book club. I feel really overwhelmed because the house is a mess. There is a mess in every single room at the moment, so we might also do a cleaning montage, which I haven't done in ages, but let me tell you, they are motivating. As soon as you put that camera on and think to yourself, I've got to get this room tidy, God, I'm fast. So maybe I'll do that next. But anyway, books. So I actually don't have loads of books to talk to you about. A lot of my reading over the past few months was based on planning for the summer fair, because each publisher put forward a book as a staff pick, and we picked a book from their catalogue as our Buffy staff pick. So some of the ones that we picked I'd read already. I read some new ones for it, and I read all of the ones that the publishers put forward. So I think it ended up totaling at like 14 books that I read for it, and we did individual bits of content on Instagram about the books. So they're on the Buffy's Instagram, and I'm not going to talk about all of those books again because I feel like I've spoken about them a lot elsewhere. I know I haven't on here, but it's available on Instagram if you're interested. But my highlights of all of the ones that I read were A Beast Slinks Towards Beijing by Alice Evelyn Yang. I thought was brilliant. And Steps by Juliana Zaffino. Two very different, really, really, really good books. So I'm going to keep that bit brief. I also, for my own sake, just now that the summer fair is done, I'm like, that part of my brain is no longer with me. So onwards and upwards. I mostly have 2 books to talk to you about based on that I started reading after I finished reading all of that. Well, a couple of audiobooks as well that I listened to. But firstly, hugely recommend Blindness by Jose Saramago. It's heavy, it is bleak, I would class it as horror. Like, it's very, very frightening at points. And I enjoyed it enough to want to actually go straight into reading the sequel for it, which is called Seeing, which I've read some great things about online when I've been researching Blindness. I think it's meant to be a brilliant book. So I really, really wholeheartedly recommend it. It's very, super long sentences. There's no punctuation for dialogue. There's no character names. It's pacey, and you are propelled through it because of that. There isn't literally many points to even stop and take a breath as you're reading it. And that combined with the way that he's describing the experience of blindness, and there's quite a lot of violence in the book, there's a lot of sexual violence as well. So it does need to come with some trigger warnings. But it creates this incredibly claustrophobic experience, and there becomes quite putrid living circumstances for people, living conditions for people, because the blind are initially quarantined in a old mental hospital, and slowly the world is falling apart outside of here, but the living conditions within the wards of this hospital are really horrific, really, really unclean and unsanitary. And so he spends a lot of time on the other senses, scent in particular, and it creates an incredibly overwhelming experience, but I thought it was brilliantly done. So proceed with caution, I would say. It's heavy, like I said, it needs to come with some trigger warnings, but brilliantly written. I don't know where my copy is, but I read Horse by Geraldine Brooks, which I have been wanting to read for quite a while. I love a horsey book, as you know, so I was excited about it. And I found it very readable. I read it really quite quickly. It's not a short book. And I overall do recommend it, but I thought it was slightly underdeveloped and not well balanced at points. So it's essentially got 2 stories running alongside one another, 3 kind of. But one of them we spend a lot more time with, and I think that's kind of where it fell down a little bit. So the whole story is about Lexington, an American racehorse who is very real, and I don't know whether it still is, but was considered the greatest American racehorse, both in terms of his performance when he was alive and his legacy as a stud horse, of lots of horses in his lineage going on to be incredibly successful racehorses as well, and making all of this money. And I love reading just stories about the racetracks and things. I find them really interesting. And we start with Lexington in the 1850s in America, so running up to the Civil War, in the South, in Kentucky, with Lexington's groom, who is a young black boy called Jarrett. And we follow him through his life, through Lexington's career. And one thing that I really like about horsey books is often this relationship between the groom and the horse. And she really does a beautiful job of it. It feels really tender. And in an industry which is really cruel to horses, these relationships, or the ones that I've read in novels, are incredibly loving and lots of care for the animal, which is really nice to read. I just find that quite wholesome to read as well, and very enjoyable. So I loved that. I loved their relationship. And there's then a present day story alongside that, which is linked by a painting that was made in the 19th century of Lexington and Jarrett. And this painting ends up being bought by a gallery owner in New York in the 1950s. So we kind of do a pit stop there. And then we go to essentially present day, I think it's 2019, Washington, DC, where there's 2 academics who both become interested in this painting of the horse, and specifically because it's unusual for the horse to be painted with their groom when the groom was a person of colour. So that relationship between the 2 academics, one is a white Australian woman called Jess, and the other is a Nigerian American man called Theo. So the theme of race runs from pre-Civil War American South, Jarrett's enslaved, so lots of commentary about slavery, into modern day and the black experience in America, in particular in how that's playing out between Theo and Jess. So it spans a lot. I really liked the linking factor being Lexington, and I felt like she kept a good handle on that. And it did all of the points where we stop, even the point where we stop in the 1950s in New York, felt like it all made sense of understanding where this painting went. And yeah, I thought that was well done. the imbalance sits in that there is a lot more time spent in the story of Jarrett and Lexington, which, while is needed to set the scene, it sometimes made the present day story feel a little bit redundant. And in some ways, I felt like she was making more of a commentary about racism in America in the present day one, as opposed to when she was talking about slavery and the experience of an enslaved boy in America. And that felt a little bit like there was a lot of time spent building context in Lexington's life and some historical context, but not necessarily enough about what it would mean to be an enslaved man in America at that time. So it just felt like certain bits were quite underdeveloped, and it, like I said, it was very, very easy to read. It was a really quick read as well, and that maybe that reading experience was prioritised over fleshing out some of the bits of the story that I think needed to be there. So that was that one. The second book I want to talk about, I just went to try to look for it, but it's in New York, but I have the second one here in the series, was The Light Years by Elizabeth Jane Howard. And I think it's very different to Horse by Geraldine Brooks, so they can't really be compared, but it really is an example where I think that Howard balances every aspect of this novel perfectly. And it just makes it so readable, so well paced, and she's not relying on any big plot points at all. It just is all quite almost meditative. It's very much, she's created a world of characters where if she was just telling me they were doing the washing up every single day and talking me through that, I would be quite happy to sit with it and read all about it. So it's the first in a series called The Cazalet Chronicles, which follows the Cazalet family. A British family, there's quite a lot of them, lots of kids, and the first novel is set in 1937, so we are running up to the Second World War. That's very much looming over the story and the sort of realisation that of what Hitler has in mind and what the sort of lies that people were telling themselves and what the government was telling people on the run up to the World War, and still also the trauma lingering there from the First World War as well. One of the family members was a veteran in the First World War who is injured from it, lost a hand and suffers migraines. So there's very much those interwar themes, which I think are quite common in books set within those years. I heard about this book through Jessie of the Unseen Review, or Sunbeam's Jess if you are a long-time YouTube watcher. And I love all of her book reviews. I think they're all brilliant. And this one really stood out. It's like, oh, that sounds like something I'm going to enjoy so much. And she was speaking really highly of it. And I did enjoy it so much. So thank you, Jessie, for this recommendation. It has been honestly one of my highlight reads of the year. And luckily, I think there's 6 or 7 in this series. There's bloody loads. So I've got loads of time to spend with the Cazalets. I'm going to take this on holiday with me next week because I just can't wait to delve back into them all. And yeah, it's set over 2 summers. Really not that much happens, and there's lots of sort of just existence within a family dynamics. The dialogue was amazing. It made me laugh out loud at points. I think she writes kids at different ages brilliantly. There were so many really fun, playful parts with all of the cousins all playing, the different factions that come and go between them all. It was brilliant. It was such a joy to read. Really lovely summer book in the English countryside. They're at their sort of big country house that the kind of patriarch of the Cazalets, Mr. Cazalet, owns, which is it's called Home Place in Sussex. This sprawling home that just also the descriptions of that is so beautiful, and there's a rose garden and it's wonderful. And then all the adults coming and going, and they're in and out of their homes in London, and it just is so well done. All of the characters are really enjoyable to read. But yeah, the dialogue especially stood out to me, and it really made me laugh. And the way that she wrote these family relationships, even as someone coming from a small family, they just felt so real. She just somehow totally captured how it feels to be in and amongst your clan in that way and all of the things that go on, which is what I think makes it so interesting, even though, you know, not that much actually really happens in the book. But I am so excited to read the second one, and I was looking on Storywrap and they're all really highly reviewed as well. So I've got high hopes that it's not going to be one that kind of goes, ooh, as you read further into the series. So that was not this, Light Years. This is the second one. Brilliant. Really recommend it. And then so there was this is kind of all I've got to talk about. I re-listened to Calypso by David Sedaris. I was feeling really low last week, like I said, and I just needed something uplifting to listen to while I was doing stuff around the house, and it was just the tonic. It really did exactly what I needed it to do. First read it years and years ago, but to re-listen to it was a joy. It was so good. So I recommend that on audiobook. And I also listened to Doppelganger by Naomi Klein, which I've been wanting to get to for ages. And I should have read it in print. I have the book somewhere as well. But I say this so often with audiobooks. I'd be so interested to know how you all find audiobooks. I mean, I love them. They're kind of a more recent thing for me. And I feel like they are allowing me to read so much more. And I really enjoy having them in my ears while I'm doing quite specific tasks like housework, or if I want to do a jigsaw or something. But I do still find that my mind wanders quite a lot when I'm listening to an audiobook. So I have to be selective. Like Calypso by David Sedaris was the perfect audiobook for me. I also find Stephen King audiobooks really good for that reason, because they're so plot driven and they're relatively simple, so you could not pay attention to 5 minutes and still be fine. Whereas Doppelganger by Naomi Klein, it's quite sprawling, like she covers so much, and to the point that I found myself distracted and would have been listening to one bit and then get distracted, and then within 2 minutes tune back in mentally again, and I was be thinking, what? How are we here? How have we gone from here to here? Oh, sorry, the door just went. So Doppelganger starts off about Naomi Klein being mixed up with Naomi Wolf, who is a conspiracy theorist, a regular on the Steve Bannon podcast, and had a very interesting sort of, her views online had a very sort of interesting trajectory, but started in a more similar place to Naomi Klein, and they were both writing at a similar time. And so their names become almost interchangeable at points, and people get mixed up, and she gets tagged in things online which are aimed at Naomi Wolf, and so she's tagged. So she starts talking about that experience, and she becomes quite obsessed with what Naomi Wolf is doing, and she's prolific in what she is doing and what she's saying, and very, very chronically online, and anti-mask, anti-vax, lots of ideologies that do not align with Naomi Klein at all. So she's understandably finding it very difficult that she's sort of becoming conflated with this. And then she goes on to sort of talk about the mirror world and lots of different examples of doppelganger, like literature that covers it. And this is where she goes far and wide. And there are points of the book where, don't ask me, basically. I was not paying enough attention. So I don't know whether I will try and read it, if I'm honest. It might just be one of those that I'm like, okay, I got out of that what I could at this point. I didn't feel interested in it enough to necessarily sit and read the book, but it was like an ongoing lesson for me of what's right for me to try and listen to on audio and what's not. So I'd love to hear how you find audiobooks as well, because I know it's so common to not be able to listen to them, to not be able to focus and concentrate on listening to them. And sometimes I'm great with it, and other times not at all. I do find if I'm reading and listening to the same book, that's great. Don't struggle with that in the same way. But yeah, I'd be really interested to know how everyone else finds it. And I just wonder if it is actually totally one of those things, if everyone's a bit different. Like some people find it really easy to retain what they are listening to, other people need to read it, write it, whatever. So yeah, that was my experience with that book. I don't really feel like I can do it justice at all. And I think I've just been planning my holiday reading. I've got marking time I'm going to take. I think I might take The Greenlanders by Jane Smiley, because I've been wanting to read this for ages and I loved 1,000 Acres. And as I was talking about Roberto Bolaño last vlog of how I've been really struggling to get into his writing, this is from the new Brief Encounters range from Vintage, which I really recommend looking into. They've got some great books, and this is called Distant Star. I don't know anything about it except it is short, and this is what I was thinking I need to get myself a little bit more into the world of Bolaño. Unbelievably, I've probably read like nearly 1,000, not that many, because The Savage Detective isn't that long, but definitely over 500 pages of Bolaño's work. But have I finished a book? No. So that's where I am with him. And then this is my first ever proper holiday with my Kindle. So I'm very excited about that. I'm sort of tempted to delve into some of the long list Booker prizes. The Gwendolyn Riley one sounds really interesting. And Agnes, who works on Buffy's with me, she read, I can't remember which book she said, but she read a Gwendolyn Riley on holiday and said it was brilliant and a good one to read on holiday. So I might delve into some of that. But with the Kindle, the world's my oyster, which is very exciting. Anyway, do you know what I need to do actually? I need to tally the vote for the August book because we did that yesterday. So I'm going to do that now and then we're going to tidy up. Look at how close this is. This has won Lighter Than My Own by Carrere has won by 1 point. It just beat The Dispossessed by Ursula Le Guin, which I also want to read. I want to read all of them, but especially these three. I might take A Passage North on holiday with me actually. And I will probably do a recount of this to double check, but I think we've got a winner by 1. I am absolutely frantic. I look frantic. I've sorted out pretty much every corner of the house. I've got the little project I had to shoot. I've got to shoot 2 things tomorrow and I've got to shoot 2 things over the weekend. So product drive for that. I think I'm on top of everything. And I have never been more excited for a book club because they're just so relaxed. Like, it just feels like we're just going to talk about a book all evening and drink some wine, and I cannot wait. It feels like exactly what I need. What can we salvage this? Nothing could be a greater ad for Merit right now if I don't look like this at the end of this segment. I love this t-shirt so much, but because it's so old, it's like a proper vintage t-shirt and sort of crumbly, it always makes me look more chaotic, I feel like. But right, let's see what we can salvage. I'm just waiting for some food to arrive. Ordered a Nando's of all things, because I'm not messing up the kitchen again, not after that. So that should be arriving soon. I can't get this lid off because I've just moisturised. There we go. By the way, the shade I'm using is June in this. I've been using this all year round. I don't know how it's managed to match my skin even though I've got more tanned, but it has somehow. I don't know how it's done that. I need to decide what to wear as well. I ordered a couple of new pieces from COS for my holiday, a skirt and a dress. I'm tempted to wear the skirt. I'm going to show you and see what you think. Last thing I need to do, and I'm not sure if I'm going to fit all of this in, is to try and film a little reel for the Buffy's Instagram talking through the books for next month, just because it's only 1 vote apart. Sometimes when I do those videos, we get loads more votes, so it might be a bit more of a clear winner, but we'll see if I manage to get that done. This is the Merit Volumizing Brow Pomade, brown black, same as the other day. Oh, it's also really muggy today in London, and I don't know about everyone else, but it always, when it's like that, it always makes me feel more like this because it's like you're not breathing enough air. Here's Archival Flush Balm on cheeks and lips. We're coming together. I don't know that I needed help with looking flushed actually. This is the glow stick in Carver. I actually don't think I've used any other of the shades in the glow stick. I always go back to this one. So creamy and easy. Mascara in the brown again. A marked improvement from where we were at a second ago. And I've done all of that in less than, well, 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Not bad, eh? Okay, this is the other one, which I might return this too, you know. I like it, I think it looks nice, and I think I would probably end up wearing it quite a lot, like over many years, and just always taking it on holiday. That fan might be really loud, sorry. But I don't know that it's just anything special. Like it has a nice shape to it, but I think I might return them both. If I'm gonna do the return, I might return them both. Right, I'm running late, but I was really stumped after that skirt didn't work out because I was mentally I'd planned that outfit, but it wasn't right. So I've gone with just a classic. These trousers from Sir, the shirts from COS, shoes are from Churches. Yes, not much to say about it, is there? But I always feel nice in something like this, and I need to go. Oh wow. Oh good. This looks so... Good evening guys. I am home. Book club was so good. Oh, it was brilliant. It was such a good book to discuss. The venue was great. Like, it was so beautiful in there. It was an amazing group. Lots of new people actually, and we talked about the book pretty much the whole time. And the food was amazing. I'm showing you how the mascara comes off, by the way, while we talk. It was brilliant. I had such a nice evening. I've had about 3 glasses of Cremant, which isn't champagne, but like a fizzy white wine, which was delicious. Having more water on my hands. But yeah, I drank a bit more than I intended to, and I was really enjoying it, so that's okay. I'm too busy chatting. Look, that's the mascara off. It's so clever. But just like, I mean, you can see all the bits of it everywhere. Then when I wash my face, wait a sec. Dripping wet face, but that's it. That was just with my normal face wash as well. There's no like, you know when you get black under your eye in the morning from mascara. I'm gonna brush my teeth, do my red light mask. I was gonna go to the gym at 9 and I cancelled it earlier because I'm so tired, and I've got quite a lot to do before I go away on Monday, and just an hour out in the morning, 9 till 10 as well. I was just actually like, I'll feel better about the day, I think, if I wake up and get into work. Look at my biceps. Speaking of the gym, I've been so, look at that! I've been so consistent with exercising since I had this knee operation. I've been going like 2 to 3 times a week. I've only been once this week, and then I'm off taking 10 days off to go on holiday, but pretty impressive. Good Good morning, guys. Oh, I've not blended in my blush, have I? I've been editing the vlog this morning. I've been ironing for once in my life as well. As you can see, the proof is there. There we go. Let's all just take a moment to let that absorb. I am going to sign this vlog off here. I edited it this morning and it's pretty long. So I hope you have enjoyed. I am going to be taking an intentional small break now for a couple of weeks while I go on holiday, and then I will be back. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to Merit for sponsoring this video. I am always so thrilled to get to work with them because like I said, I use their products every single day. So it's just one of those dream brand collaborations where it's incredibly easy to incorporate into anything because I'm already incorporating it into things. And I will link their mascara, well, all the products I used, but the Clean Volume mascara will be linked in the description box as well. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching and for always supporting. I hope you've enjoyed it. Good old cleaning montage and a book chat. And yeah, when I next see you again, I hope to be very tanned and zen-like and re-centered. It's going to be fabulous.